All right. Here we go, guys. Circle prospecting. Let's dive in, right? So, circle prospecting, guys, is a proven process. You guys have probably, for those who've been in real estate more than 20 years, you've heard circle prospecting named and said, but you may not exactly have it implemented into your business, right? And so, actually, the process that it really can help you grow your real estate business. I I'm guaranteeing you almost that if you do it right. It allows you to build relationships with people in a neighborhood, right? That's the main goal by sharing information about the activity around them. So people, when I say circle prospecting, some agents, they're like, oh, do I have to make phone calls? And it's just that world we're living in now. And maybe some of you guys are crazy, and maybe some of you guys actually like talking to people on the phone. I don't know about you, but my family, I've got a couple kids that just hate talking on the phone. I'm not a huge phone talker. I'm a texter. I love doing videos, but every now and then I like talking on the phone. But some people just hate it now, and I get it. So if you're honestly, if you're here's some examples of how you could use circle prospect. Then we'll really dive in. If your buyers, for example, lost out on a multiple offer situation, which you probably had to deal with in the past 2 years, right? Or you're looking for more listings, which we all are probably looking for more listings. These tactics can tackle those problems and help you build up your database. And honestly, the big goal is to position yourself as the go-to local expert, right? We all want that. Circle prospecting helps us begin conversations, right, that lead to relationships. And you know what I always say, relationships and conversations ultimately lead to transactions, contracts, right? And that if that doesn't get you excited as a real estate agent, I don't know what will. So let's go ahead and dive in. Happy Wednesday, Jill. I just saw your text. Sorry. Um, what the heck is circle prospecting? Let's start from the beginning, right? We are going to begin with a target house, right? With some kind of activity that recently occurred on it or is currently happening on it. Maybe a good example is an upcoming open house or a recently listed house or a just sold house. That's the three ones I can think of off the top of my head. But honestly, years ago, and some of you guys have been in business for a while, I know some of you guys, circle prospecting got its name from the practice of using a map. You guys remember maps, right? Not MapQuest. The time before maps. I don't know. You guys probably remember that. Some of you guys do. Driving in the car and you got your parents in the front seat and they got this big map pulled out and they're kind of circling the routes, right? This is what it came from, right? They pulled a big map out, then you draw a circle, you find your property, and you draw a circle around at least 20 homes closest to the target house. That's where the name circle prospecting comes from. And then you contact those owners to let them know about the recent activity that's happening on your particular house. And in today's market, I would still begin with a target home. And from there, we're going to identify anyone interested in knowing what's happening or has happened with this current house, right? And so, why do real estate agents use circle prospecting, right? The thing many agents get wrong about circle prospecting is that your objective is not necessarily to create immediate transactions. Okay, let me say this again. Your objective with circle prospecting is not necessarily, it's good if it happens, to create immediate transactions. Okay, your goal is develop long-term relationships. So when it comes time for them to sell their home, people in the area think of who first? You first, right? That's the goal of circle prospecting. Of course, you want to go ahead and ask for business. I mean, I don't know an agent that shouldn't ask for business. I just believe in that. But because sometimes if you don't ask, you don't receive. That's my saying. But your job isn't done if they say they're not ready to buy or sell. Most agents in the marketplace we're in, guys, what happens? If you get a no, you don't even contact them. Some of you guys don't even put them in your database. I don't understand that, right? Because I'm all about, let's keep dripping stuff to them. And honestly, that's the big goal. And so the way circle prospecting is often understood or visualized in real estate is similar to growing crops on a farm. Do I have any farmers in here? Anybody that grew up on a farm? I remember going out many times and having to, get the field ready. And that was not a fun time for me. And this circle prospecting may not be fun for you, but it does yield results, just like, planting seeds in a farm, right? And that's the goal. Future business is the goal of circle prospecting. All right, you ready? At its core, circle prospecting is just letting people know You buy and sell homes in their area. That's the primary purpose here. And so let's talk about maybe some circle prospecting that could in a couple scenarios. Okay, I'm going to walk through some scenarios, and I think this will get you a better idea of what's happening here, right? And your buyers lost a multiple offer situation. It may not happen this year as much, right? Because the market's a little crazy right now, but it definitely happened last year and the year before last. So implement now, it'll make a difference, which creates an opportunity to see if any other homeowners nearby would consider selling because you have a bunch of buyers interested, right? And marketing a coming soon listing to a nearby neighbors by providing them an opportunity to choose their next neighbor. If you don't run or talk to neighbors when you do a coming soon listing, right? You have a listing that's getting ready to hit the market, you better add this to your marketing plan. Call the houses around them, and I'll tell you about how to get the phone numbers in a minute. But call the houses around them and say, hey, I'm getting ready to list this property. If you know anybody that's moving and want to meet next to you, you got any neighbors you actually like, or you got people in your family, or you got friends who would actually like to maybe move closer to you, this could be their opportunity. You never know what the answers are going to be, right? And I'll talk about some other opportunities with text messages and video in a minute. And the last one I'm thinking of, and we're going to walk through, is just sold listings, right? Where you can share the details how the most recent sale in the neighborhood may have affected their home value. That's the key words there. And so let's kind of really dive into this, okay? To get started, considering the following steps needed to prepare for circle prospecting. You ready? Step 1, find the freaking homeowner's information. Sometimes this is the hardest part, right? But I'm going to show you an example of how I do it. But these are great tools as well, right? The very first step in circle prospecting is identifying the owners of the homes you will be calling. Some ways you can do this is through the local property appraiser's website or CRS tax searches in most MLS systems. They'll usually provide the name and address, right? We just do a lot of property tax records and stuff like that. I mean, if you have a better way and you're on this call, drop it in. I'm going to show you what I do to get as many names and addresses I can get. And then we will talk about the phone numbers in a minute. And honestly, I'm a huge fan of using Deluxe. I'm going to show you that right now. You know me, I'm a visual guy. And I think I've showed this a few times in the workshop. Oh, man, I just closed my thing. I'll get it in a minute. So if you have access to Deluxe right now, and there's other ways you can do it, but if you have access to Deluxe, you can go in here, and I'm going to go and take the next 4 minutes. I'm going to show you how I do it, okay? Super easy. Some agents on this call may not have a clue what to do. PVA, thanks to you. I really appreciate it. PVA is a great way to get your name and address, right, for sure. So you can go to leads and contacts up here. And what I do is usually do a radius search. This gives me the majority. You can also do a map search where you can draw your current subdivision area out. But radius is just the easy peasy way of doing it. And then from here, I put in my property. So let's say you've got a coming soon listing, right? And you want area information around it. So you put your coming soon. I'll just pretend I'm putting my house on the market. Agents, I'm not putting my house on the market. No need to call me. But if I did, right? And here, radius by distance, I'm going to put 0.5 just to make it easier. But you could even put like 0.2. You can put 0.4. Let's go down. Let's go 0.3 miles, okay? And I'm going to hit add radius. What's cool about this program is it gives you the total amount of houses, homes, that you're going to pull from this area. And even shows the area circled down here. I can zoom out and show exactly what houses and homes I'm going to get. But go in here and then shows 156. I'm fine with that. Choose your carrier routes, zip codes. You can go by any of that. You can do full city searches if you want to. The next step, you go to next, and you can choose your income. I usually skip it. I go all the way down to dwelling type. And you guys can think of other ways to use this tool, by the way. So I just get rid of apartments and a little bit of post office boxes. If there's agents on here that want to go after renters, right? You could go with first-time home buyers maybe. You could get rid of all this and just choose apartments. And it'll run everybody's got apartments, especially if you know with apartment areas, right? It's a pretty cool tool. I go down here to homeowner renters. We're going to do homeowners only. And we're going to go to phone numbers. This is the key to this. This is why I use this program. As I go include all records, provide phone numbers when available, and then I hit next. And then I save it. So I'm going to call this Harlan Drive Circle. I think I'm in somebody else's account here. So they'll probably be like, what? Why am I getting this? Oh, well. So we're going to give it 2 minutes, guys. But with what this is going to extract for us is the owner's names, the owner's addresses, and about 40 to 60% of their phone numbers. All right. So is that a cool tool? Have you guys used this? Let me know in the chat if this is something you used or haven't used. I use this religiously. There's probably not a week that hasn't went by that I haven't helped an agent using this tool. And so I think it's a fantastic tool for you to dive into. So I'm going to continue here. We're going to give just a few seconds and let it run because I want to show you the results, because sometimes people don't show results and it's just crazy, right? Yeah, thanks, Rosie. Appreciate it, Amy. Awesome. And so what I do, there's actually what examples in here, but I'm going to give it a second. I'm going to refresh it again. We're going to go to leads and contacts. We're going to go to my contacts. Let's see if it's ran yet. No, it's still running. But I'm going to show you some examples of how we can use this for circle prospecting, particularly for the three scenarios we talked about in just a second. Try it one more time. Sometimes it takes a minute. Sometimes it makes 2. It all depends on the speed. Never heard of it, Marie. Marie, this is going to be a game changer for you if we start using it. And feel free to come by the office anytime, and I'll walk you step by step through it. This is great, especially if you guys have farms. I know it's not what we're talking about today, but if you have farms, this is a great way to get the data. There it is, Harlan Drive Circle, right? I can go over here to edit here and check this out. These are the owners' names, owners' addresses, and this one didn't have phone numbers, but check all the phone numbers we do have, right? There's quite a bit. I usually get 40 to 60% of the phone numbers typically, and these are numbers not on the do not call list, right? So pretty cool. You can export this, get it on an Excel sheet, on an Excel file, right? And then you have, or you can import this in your database. So for those of you that's getting a cool CRM soon, or you already have one that can do text message systems, can you imagine taking this list, upload to the database, texting out coming soon listing information, texting out, hey, you're looking for blah, blah. Can you imagine the power of this tool? All right, keep on going. I digressed on this one. So let me share my slides a little bit. Do you guys understand how to use that tool? Go back, watch this video, and if you haven't used it yet, it could be a game changer to your business. All right, let me hit share. Yeah, I've had a few phone numbers, Aaron, that have not been completely accurate, but I'm going to take a gander here and say 80 to 85% of the numbers are pretty daggone accurate. I've made personal phone calls to a lot of people in my area, and I actually recognize some of the numbers from people in my neighborhood that I know very well, and that it was their phone number. And it is people not on the do not call list, is what I was told by Deluxe. So pretty cool, right? Okay, let's keep on going. A couple different options I have for this, guys. If you don't want to use Deluxe, if you want for a paid option, ForeWarn is a great option. I think it's like $20 a month if I remember correct. I don't know if anybody on this call has ForeWarn, but it's like $20 a month, something like that. It's pretty great. And then another one is TruthFinder. I can't remember whether it is like $40 a month, maybe something like that. It's a great way to. I think ForeWarn's my go-to on it. But there's another one in case you want that option, right? So we're trying to get owner's name, owner's address, and owner's phone number. That's the main goal. Keep on rolling. So then we're going to gather the sales information for the neighborhood. This is a step that most agents don't even do, right? Before they make the phone calls or before they send the text messages. They just don't do this step. And I think it's important. So I've laid out about 6 things here, maybe 7, that I think you should acquire, even if it's on a separate sheet of paper before you make up any phone calls, right? You're going to prepare for the calls by gathering this kind of data. You want the houses in the neighborhood that have sold in the past 6 months. Print that report off, right? Or write them down on a sheet of paper. You want the price per square foot information of the homes that have sold. This is information that if it comes up in a phone call or if it comes up via text, you already have the data. You just got to give it out there. And you guys know as well as I do that data impacts people, right? And it's impressive. And that's what we want to do, and impress people. The third one is days on market detail. The next one is general details, examples, number of bedrooms, bathrooms of each home. I mean, it'd be great to just pull this information up. Like even if it's go to the Zillow or go to realtor.com or go to remax.com or go to wherever and look at the past listing and at least jot down before you make the phone call, their house has 3 bedrooms, 4 baths. Because how cool would it be? Hey, we got actually people in our office that are looking for bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 3, 4 baths. What price would you need to think about selling your home? I'm okay saying stuff like that, but it's impressive that you know the data, right? Comparison of neighborhoods price per square foot and days in the market versus the overall market. So that just for that neighborhood versus the overall market. So if it's hot in that neighborhood, right, things are moving and shaking. Hey, it's a good way to present it to those potential sellers. And last but not least, the historical data, right? So take a screenshot of this. I'll be glad to share the slides with you. If you guys want these slides at any point in time, just yell at me and I'll drop them into the academy. And what's happening in the neighborhood and how they impact the area homes. All right, so now hopefully we've got the names, addresses, and some phone numbers, right? If you use Forewarn, you can get all of them. And then we also have data about the current area. All right, step 2. Actually, we already did this, right? Yes, that's step 2. 2 slides, the same thing. I don't know what I did there. So let's talk about some ideal scenarios for conducting circle prospecting, right? So now that you know how to gather the needed information and details, a few scenarios that are ideal for circle prospecting. This is what I always push, is these scenarios yield the highest results, and we all want more results. So scenario 1, you ready? Use circle prospecting when your buyers missed out on a multiple offers negotiation. We've dealt with that the past 2 years. Don't know how much we're going to deal with this year, but at least you have in your back pocket knowing how to do it, right? The first scenario involves calling owners, or, you know me, I'm a video text guy or I'm a text guy. Calling or texting, right? I'm a big fan of texting, but you can call if you guys love to call. Most people don't pick up if they don't know your number. You know, that's the way we live in now. Or using a couple CRMs, you can use voicemail drops. So you can literally call, I think Slide Dial, is that the voicemail one? There's another program you can use to make voicemail calls that goes directly to their voicemail, which is pretty cool. Does this provide an opportunity to strengthen your relationship with your buyers by going the extra mile? That's the big key here, right? And so let me give you an example of how the conversation may go. So let's talk about this. So maybe it's a conversation with your potential buyer that missed out, right? And so here's what it could say. I know you're disappointed, and I will do everything in my power to find you the perfect home. I plan to reach out to the owner or owners of homes near the one we missed out on immediately to see if there is someone that they know in the neighborhood we consider selling. Can you see how if you approach it that way with your buyer that missed out, it could turn that frown upside down, right? It can make them a little happier that you're going the extra mile. If your clients know you're going the extra miles, it makes a big difference. Instead of just waiting to see what hits the market, right? You're telling them I'm taking action, and that's what circle prospecting does. This move really shows the buyers you're in the game for them. And so it also provides an opportunity, to call homeowners who, honestly, with ready and willing potential buyers for their home. Isn't that amazing to be able to have somebody in your back pocket that may be interested? And so here's some example scripts. And I'll be glad to screenshot these and send these to you guys for you guys can have for your records and share with other agents. But here's a prospecting script. Okay, you ready? In this script, my name is Sally, by the way. So I may not look like Sally, but in this script, I'm Sally. This is Sally Agent with ABC Realty. And I'm not sure if you know this, but the house a few doors down from you at 123 Live Oak came on the market 2 days ago, and the seller received multiple offers. They're under contract to sell their home, but I was working with one of the families who made an offer on the house that wasn't accepted. They love your neighborhood, and I'm doing everything in my power to help them find the perfect home in your neighborhood. So I'm calling to see if you've heard of anybody in any of your neighbors who might consider selling. So did you see what I did at the end of that? Did I say, hey, are you considered selling your home? Hey, are you willing to sell your home? Did I say that? No, because 90% of the time they're going to say no, right? What I did say was, I'm calling to see if you've heard of any of your neighbors who might consider selling. Because if they are thinking about selling, what's their answer going to be, right? They'll tell you. Does that make sense? Okay, let's keep going. That's a good scenario. Keep on rolling. Then listen to what the homeowner has to say. That's a big crucial key, right? Most agents don't listen very well. I've talked to some agents on the phone recently, not in our offices, but I'm just like, I can't even get a word in edgewise. Have you guys experienced that some way? Maybe it's just me. Notice I didn't ask them, right? So we're going to really kind of allow these scripts to not control us, but to control the conversation, right? And honestly, here's what I always do. I would allow the conversation to flow naturally. And you can do this via text too, right? But honestly, do not hang up or don't stop your communication via text. without asking the most crucial question. You ready? Here it is. I'm gonna give you the crucial question. Before you got off the phone, I'd be a worst realtor in the world if I didn't at least ask you, is there a price at which you might consider selling your home? And if the home value is worth $350,000 and they tell you $400,000, what are you going to do? Are you just going to not write anything down? You're going to say, oh gosh, yeah, that's not going to happen, right? No, you're going to say, awesome, that's fantastic. Let me make a note of that in my system. And if things come, the market starts shifting, I'll be the first one to give you a call, right? And then I would finish the conversation with this script. Great. I don't want to bombard you with calls. So if it's okay, I'd prefer to keep in touch via email. And if you see anything or something you have any questions about, just give me a call anytime, right? And then you've got their email address. So now you've got their name, address, phone number, and email. That's your goal. If you can do that for the 20 or 30 homes around your listing, you have a game changer opportunity here, guys. This is stuff that other agents just aren't freaking doing. All right. Does that scenario make sense for multiple offers? All right. Let's keep on chugging. And I believe this, guys. I'm a closer, but I'm not a hard closer. And so circle prospecting, most agents say always be closing. The notion that we should always be closing is a broken one. Let me say it again. The notion that we should always be closing is a broken one. It doesn't work anymore. I'm just going to be plain and simple. Yes, car salesmen and other people believe in the system. I think it's broken. And maybe you guys agree or disagree, and I'm fine with that. I believe me, I disagree with many people, and people disagree with me, but we still love each other, right? And instead, we should focus on building relationships instead of always closing, okay? By introducing yourself and providing information to people, we can start building a list of people in your real estate CRM who will turn to us when they need a real estate agent, right? How cool would it be to have 20 people now, maybe 15, 20 people, that when they're ready to turn, when they're ready to make a decision, when they're ready to sell their home, or when they're ready to buy another property somewhere else, at least you're top of mind, right? And when you're actively building relationships, having conversations, you will find listing opportunities. And I think it's going to be crucial to make that part of your marketing plan for 2023. All right, keep on going. Scenario number 2, use circle prospecting when you're listing a home. Don't just freaking list a home and hope the MLS does its job, right? And hope Zillow does its job. We're not doing that anymore, right? We are professional real estate agents that don't do the bare bones. We do above and beyond. So we are going to call the owners or text them, fill in whatever your best communication area is, right? In the neighborhood right before taking your listing live, okay? This is a great way to possibly find buyers for the listing throughout friends and family members, right? How cool would it be to have a buyer and a seller ready to go? It happens. Scripts to start the conversation. You ready? I'm going to be Sally Agent here. Just bear with me. Hey, this is Sally Agent with ABC Realty, and we're putting a home in your neighborhood, on the market in the next few days. We love to let owners in the neighborhood know about these listings. So if you have an opportunity to choose your neighbor, if you have friends or family who might be considered buying in your great neighborhood, this could be an opportunity for you. Or if you're looking for anyone looking to move into your neighborhood, I'd be glad to share the information about the new listing with them, all right? Do you get what I'm saying here? Does this make sense? These are scripts, guys, that are proven. They work. And you don't have to say them your own way, right? Don't say them like Sally Agent here. Say them like you would say them. It comes across a lot more genuine. And honestly, doing this offers us a chance to add value. I had an agent say, I hate cold calling, right? I hate calling people. I feel like I'm bothering them. You have to shift your mindset here, right? You have to think, I am adding value to homeowners in the neighborhood, okay? And position yourself as the go-to resource for the area. It allows us to potentially own both sides of the sale, right? Or potentially get your name out there where other people wouldn't recognize you. All right, you ready? Keep on going. Every deal starts with a conversation. What's more, it allows us to begin a conversation with other homeowners who might be interested in knowing the new listing, right? Will impact their home value. You guys know that, right? That's like the staple of conversation starters for agents. You know, if you have a listing and it sells, you realize that when that listing sells, you can say this listing potentially improves or whatever your home value. That's a fantastic conversation starter for circle prospecting. In today's market, we'll likely see a lot of activity, right? Hopefully, and we'll get multiple offers. Maybe, hopefully that's the plan. I hope it picks up, right? and meaning that someone must miss out on a house. And honestly, you'd say, I'd be the worst rule in the world if I at least didn't ask you, right? This is the question you always ask. If there's a price you'd consider selling your home. Man, if you can, how cool would it be to go open your database and see all these people in your database and you have a price out there, right? You have a column of the price that they'd be willing to sell their home. Man, that's like gold to me, right? Because you know what their target price is. Seemed like a great deal to me. All right. And so I honestly, this is the big key to it all. And be sure to close, right? Asking for their email address. Close with saying, hey, I want to help you. Close by saying, I'm going to send you information. What's your email address? Try to get that before you get off the phone. And I get it. You're not going to get it for everybody. All right. Last scenario here. Scenario 3. Use circle prospecting when listing sell. When the home sells, right? We can use circle prospecting to add value to people in the neighborhood, even when the house that sells isn't one of our listings. Let me say this one more time. We can add value to the people in the neighborhood, even when the house that sells isn't one of your listings. All right. Be careful though. Do not imply that you sold the house. I had some agents do that recently. Not our agents, of course not. Some other agents I've seen. But use the transaction details to inform the homeowners. If the house is one that you sold, you'll be able to share proof that you're doing work in the neighborhood, right? But if you aren't the listing or the selling agent, you can still be the information source for the owners who reported the sale details to them. Okay. You want to become the mayor for that area. You want to own that area. You want to report anything going on in that area to the potential sellers, right? Or potential buyers even. So try this script. I'm gonna give you another script, last script for the day. I'm not gonna bombard with scripts. I'll copy and paste, send this all to you if you guys want them. This is Sally Agent with ABC Realty. I wanted to let you know that we recently sold a home in your neighborhood, right? That'd be a great one. Or if it's not your listing, there was a recent home sale in your neighborhood. After getting multiple offers, possibly, right? The sale price was pretty surprising and it affected your home value. You're not sharing the sale price with them. Would you like for me to share more details about this sale? That's the question. What if you sent this via text? What if you sent this via video text, right? You don't have to make phone calls all day long. We have the power of text technology now, right? And after providing details, say, due to several offers or whatever, we may have buyers willing to pay a premium for your house in your neighborhood right now. So we're calling to see if you know any of your neighbors who might consider selling. I'm not asking them if they're trying to sell or they're willing to sell. I'm asking them if they know any neighbors who may consider selling. It's a great segment, guys. You get what I'm going with this thing. All right, you ready? The last couple of things, those are 3 scenarios. Building your database is critical using Circle Prospect for growth. You will be gathering homeowners' contact information through your Circle Prospecting efforts. And systematic communication to your database is a foundational strategy for business growth. Now, let's put this plan together and add some value to it in a way that generates business not only for you now, but also in the future. You ready? I'm going to give you my best CRM tips. And also let you guys know, I know with KV Core and with, I know Reliance maybe, there's a couple of systems that are starting to go this direction for lead gen. And you're going to see some shifts happening for most CRMs in the next, I don't know, probably a year or 2 years. So when you have that person's information in your database and that person calls in or calls the office number or whatever, it's going to get routed to you because you have that information in the database. There's some other cool facts I'm going to share later on about KB Core, not in that, but we even rely on some of the stuff that's happening with some of those systems. And so even a top producer is doing a pretty cool switch around soon. A lot of them are going this way. So it will pay you dividends to get their name, address, phone number, and email into your database. Let me just be clear with that, okay? That's going to be a challenge for 2023 for a lot of you guys. And for the agents I coach, I'm going to challenge you hot and heavy. Let's build your database. 200, 300, 500 people is not enough anymore, okay? We're going to fill it full, and we're going to find ways to auto reach out to them. All right, you ready? Have a consistent email going out to your database. Do you have this right now? It's okay if you answer no, and I'm talking about consistent. I'm talking whether it be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, you have to have a consistent email going out, okay? This is a no, you have to do it this year. These should be a combination of market updates, community events, and or blog posts or even videos. You know me, I'm a video guy, about local areas of interest. These are brand building emails, right? That will keep us top of mind when that comes in. So now we built the circle prospecting, even if you didn't do the phone calls I told you to do, right? You have these people in your database and you're pushing it out. Number 2, set them up on automated updates when a home like theirs comes on the market in that area, right? 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, homes within, 15 miles, right? It goes under contract, send them a note, or is sold in their neighborhood, even better. You can set them up, if you have their email address, you could set them up on these alerts. And also, you can set these up on your MLS right now. A lot of MLSs let you do it. CRMs are starting to do it, right? And lastly, here he is. Provide them with a personalized, I'm going to say this 20 times, and I think I did a workshop on it. It's in the academy, I believe. It's called Video CMAs. But provide them with a personalized, unsolicited, they didn't ask for this, video CMA at least once a year. Now I'm talking about this is what will get you business, right? You can do this more often if they are, if it started, they plan to sell their home the next few years. Doing this, here's what it involves. I'll give you the down low. Recording your screen using a tool such as BombBomb, or you can use Zoom, while going over the comparable sales. Okay? If you do this correctly, you can record a video CMA in 3 to 5 minutes, and they are getting opened. And it's pretty unbelievable. This strategy done consistently, you hear that word again, will ensure that you will be top of mind when they get ready to sell. I'm telling you, you take 2 or 3 of these things I've shared, guys, it's going to really build your business up this year. At least I believe so. Last but not least, guys, circle prospecting adds value to the homeowner in the neighborhood. Okay, you are an agent that provides value. If you can find ways this year in 2023 to provide value, right, versus trying to lead gen or trying to call people who's willing to sell. No. If you're providing value, okay, if you can find ways to provide value to people, right, it will deepen the relationships with the people who live there, right? It initiates conversations, which develop into what I talk about, relationships, which ultimately lead to your business growth. Okay. That was a lot, right? I get it. I understand. I'll be glad to post these slides. Actually, I'll go and do it. I'm going to post these slides in the course when it gets published this afternoon inside the academy. So if anybody wants these slides, feel free to grab them. Any questions about circle prospecting? I'll take the next 5 minutes, guys. If you guys have any questions on it, I hope you picked up at least 1 or 2 good things out of this workshop, guys. My goal is to just keep every week providing content that make sense, right? I'm looking at Facebook. I'm sorry, guys. I missed some comments. I never knew about that. Good afternoon. Do we have to get listing agents written permission? That's a good question. All you're doing is sharing data that's public. So look, I'm the guy. Somebody asked that question. Do we have to have listing agents written permission? I'm going to check with the broker to make sure. I'm going to make sure I say this right, or check with your own broker, right, to make sure that's right. I'm the kind of guy that lives with, here's a box. I take the box and I throw it out the window, and I live in that outside the box realm usually. So I believe, though, since it's public knowledge, you're not sharing crucial real estate data. You're not saying you sold the property. You're just saying, hey, did you see the listing sold? Maybe it's just me. Maybe other people have feedback more than that on it. But let me know what you think. Okay, let me go through some of these questions. Forewarn is a free service for some MLSs. Very cool, Gail. That's cool. Maybe some MLSs do provide it. Yes, I'll be Michelle Bishop. I'll be glad to send you these scripts. I'll post them inside the course, so go in there and look for them. I'll send an email out to you. Deluxe and Max Center. If you go to, I'm trying to answer all these questions I can. If you log into Max Center, you go up to advertise. Oh, let me share my screen with you guys. Sorry. I talk and I don't put stuff up. Let me go back one more time so you guys can see what I'm doing. Here it is. So inside of Max Center, guys, you go to advertise, and then it pulls up Megaphone. Then I go to content and then branded content. It's the only way I mean, there's other ways to get there. This is how I get there. And then it pulls up Deluxe. So hope that answered your question. It's going to take a minute to load up, but that is how you do it. Let me get back to my questions here. Yeah, I'll be glad to get these to you, Deanna. I'll get the scripts and stuff to you. Great information. Thanks. Appreciate it. Do you send one text and done? No. And done with circle prospecting? No. AJ, it's great question. I'm going to stop my screen share here and stop my screen share here. Do I send one text? No. You're obviously trying to start conversations, right? If they don't reply, we come up another way. You give up some updates. So if you're listing a property and you're getting ready to list the property, you send the text out, right? You're getting ready to list the property. You send another text out if they didn't reply at all to, hey, I know I sent a text out earlier telling them I didn't, that I haven't listed it yet. I just wanted you to know I listed it. Here's the link, right? You're giving out information. Anything you can do to give an example of why something's happening, like a reason. I'm always looking for reasons to call people or reasons to text people. So that's a great one. And then a follow-up to it, AJ, is honestly, anytime an action happens on that property, I try to give updates. Obviously, if they unsubscribe, I get it, right? If they say screw off, I'm not going to text them again. But you get what I'm saying there. At least that's what I do. Let me go back to Facebook. Any other questions on there? Our state forms exclusive listing agreements say that any other brokerage is allowed to market out listings. Look at that. There's that one. That's very cool. Thanks for the info. Appreciate it. Okay. I think I got all the questions answered. Thank you guys for hanging in there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, guys. I do believe that every agent should include circle prospecting in their business, right? In some way, shape, form, or fashion. If not, try it once. I promise if you get something out of it, you'll be excited about it. You'll be like, all right, Jeremy's right. I need to keep doing this. But all right, that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions about me, feel free to reach out. Next week, we're talking about for sale by owners, which I'm pretty excited about for 2023. Okay. AJ, sorry, I said DJ. Do you send one text and done? Oh, can we still sign up for? Yeah, it's actually going to be, the boot camp is going to be available. So if you just go to academy.levelup.com or academy.relevelup.com, be on the homepage. I think the boot camp is going to close down admissions, I think on Sunday. So you got till Sunday if you want to sign up. And then we'll send out Facebook. We get a private Facebook group and all that fun stuff. John and I are really excited about that. So, all right, guys, thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all. Go sell some homes and build up your database because that's going to be crucial for this first part of the year. Take care, guys, and be awesome.